Have you ever lovingly prepared a hearty meal, packed the leftovers away, and then reheated them the next day thinking you're saving time, money, and food waste? Most of us do this all the time. After all, reheating food is a common part of daily life, especially for elders who might cook once and eat twice to avoid standing for long hours in the kitchen. It's convenient, it feels safe, and it seems like the responsible thing to do. But what if I told you that reheating certain common vegetables can actually turn them into health hazards? That's right. Some of the most popular veggies in our kitchens, healthy when fresh, can become dangerous when reheated. It sounds shocking, doesn't it? You might be wondering, how can something as innocent as spinach or potatoes hurt me? Well, the truth is, when certain vegetables are cooked and then stored improperly or reheated, their natural chemical compounds change. Some release harmful substances. Others become breeding grounds for bacteria that cause serious food poisoning. And a few even create carcinogens, compounds linked to cancer risk. And here's the thing, older adults are especially vulnerable to these dangers. Why? Because as we age, our immune systems weaken, our digestion slows down, and the body's ability to detoxify harmful compounds isn't as strong as it used to be. This means what a younger person might brush off as a little stomach upset could turn into serious illness for someone over 60 or 70. In today's video, we're going to explore this topic in depth. We'll cover 5 common vegetables that can become toxic when reheated. We'll break down the science behind why this happens so you're empowered with knowledge, not fear. And I'll share real-life examples, like Adam, who is 72 and thought his leftovers were harmless until he learned the hard way. Most importantly, I'll give you practical tips on how to handle these vegetables safely, so you can still enjoy healthy meals without risking your well-being. So if you've ever wondered, is reheating my food safe? Could leftovers be harming my digestion? What cooking habits should I change after 60? Then stay with me, because this video is for you. Let's dive into the first vegetable you need to watch out for. Number 1. Spinach, the hidden nitrate trap. Spinach is often called a superfood, right? It's packed with iron, folate, vitamins A, C, and K. It's wonderful for your bones, your blood, and your eyes. But did you know that when spinach is reheated, it can actually release compounds called nitrosamines, which are potentially harmful? Let me explain. Spinach naturally contains nitrates. Nitrates themselves aren't harmful. In fact, they're found in many leafy greens and are part of a healthy diet. But when you cook spinach, cool it, and then reheat it, those nitrates can break down into nitrites, and then further into nitrosamines. And here's the problem. Nitrosamines have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly stomach and esophageal cancers. They're also known to stress the liver and kidneys, which are already working harder as we age. Now, think about this. How often have you made sag palak paneer or spinach soup and saved it for the next day? Many of us do this, believing we're eating healthy. But for elders, this habit can silently strain the digestive system and increase long-term health risks. Let me share Adam's story. Adam, 72, loved his spinach soup. He'd make a big pot on Sunday, keep it in the fridge, and warm up a bowl each day throughout the week. One winter, Adam started noticing unusual stomach cramps and acid reflux. He dismissed it as age-related digestion, but during a routine checkup, his doctor mentioned that continuous intake of reheated nitrate-rich foods could be contributing to his gut inflammation. Adam was shocked. Since then, he's changed his cooking routine. Now he cooks spinach fresh, eats it the same day, and freezes portions immediately if he wants to store them. So what's the solution? Eat spinach fresh whenever possible. If you need to store it, freeze it immediately after cooking instead of leaving it in the fridge for days. Freezing slows down nitrate breakdown. Avoid microwaving spinach multiple times. If you must reheat, do it only once and use a gentle heat method. Does this sound like a habit you might have? If so, you're not alone, and it's never too late to change. Let's move on to the next vegetable you need to know about. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss an important health tip. Number 2. Potatoes, the botulism risk you can't ignore. Who doesn't love potatoes? Mashed, baked, in curries, or fried, they're a staple in kitchens around the world. But potatoes can become dangerous when reheated improperly. Here's why. Potatoes are rich in starch. When they're cooked, cooled, and then reheated, that starch can change structure, a process called retrogradation. This isn't always harmful. In fact, resistant starch can sometimes be good for gut health. But if cooked potatoes are left at room temperature for too long before refrigeration, they become a perfect environment for Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria that causes botulism, a rare but deadly form of food poisoning. Even reheating doesn't always kill this bacteria because the toxin it produces is heat-resistant. Botulism can lead to muscle weakness, breathing difficulties, blurred vision. In severe cases, paralysis. Older adults are more at risk because their immune response is slower, and symptoms might be mistaken for other age-related issues at first. Let me give you a relatable example. Imagine you've cooked aloo curry for dinner. It's delicious, but you leave the pot on the stove overnight because you forgot to put it in the fridge. The next day you reheat it for lunch thinking it's still warm, it should be fine. But that overnight sitting created the perfect breeding ground for botulism spores. How can you avoid this risk? Cool cooked potatoes quickly. Don't leave them out for more than 2 hours. Store leftovers in shallow containers so they cool evenly and faster. When reheating, heat thoroughly to at least 165 F. But remember, botulism toxin can sometimes survive reheating, so prevention is better than cure. Lusht jolt. This might sound scary, but knowledge is power. Have you ever left potatoes out overnight thinking they were safe? Many of us have. Now you know better. Let's continue to the third vegetable on our list. Number 3. Mushrooms. The protein breakdown problem. Mushrooms are often praised for their health benefits. Rich in antioxidants, low in calories, and packed with plant-based protein. But mushrooms are very sensitive to temperature changes. Here's the issue. When you cook mushrooms and then reheat them, the protein structure breaks down. This can create compounds that irritate the stomach lining and cause digestive upset, especially in older adults with sensitive systems. Even worse, mushrooms contain polyunsaturated fats that can oxidize when reheated, increasing the formation of free radicals in the body. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can damage cells and accelerate aging. Let's make this real with a simple scenario. Imagine you saute a big batch of mushrooms for dinner. You store the leftovers, and the next day you microwave them for lunch. After eating, you feel bloated and gassy, maybe even a little nauseous. Does this sound familiar? It's not just indigestion, it's your body reacting to altered proteins and oxidized fats. What's the solution? Eat mushrooms fresh whenever possible. If you must store them, refrigerate immediately, and eat within 24 hours. Avoid reheating mushrooms in the microwave. Use gentle stovetop warming at low heat. Your digestive system will thank you for it. Let's move on to the next vegetable, and if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to leave a comment below. Tell me, have you ever experienced food-related stomach upset and wondered why? Number 4. Celery. The nitrate surprise. Celery is another nitrate-rich vegetable, similar to spinach. It's great for soups, stews, and even in desi cooking, where we use celery leaves and stalks for added flavor. But when celery is cooked and then reheated, nitrates can once again convert to nitrites, and then to nitrosamines, those cancer-linked compounds we mentioned earlier. This is especially concerning when celery is cooked in broths or soups, and then reheated over and over again. For elders who love homemade vegetable soup or chicken stew with celery, this can pose a quiet but serious health risk over time. So what can you do? Add celery fresh to your soups when reheating, instead of cooking it all at once. If you do cook celery, avoid reheating the same soup multiple times. Take out just the portion you need and heat that. Store soups properly, freezing if necessary, to reduce nitrate breakdown. Have you ever thought about how often you reheat soup with celery in it? Now you have one more reason to be mindful. Let's head to our final vegetable. Number 5. Beets. The sugar and nitrate combo. Beets are fantastic for heart health, right? They're rich in antioxidants, natural sugars, and you guessed it, nitrates. But when you cook and then reheat beets, the nitrates can once again convert into nitrosamines. Plus, beets contain natural sugars that can ferment during improper storage, creating digestive issues like gas, bloating, and even mild food poisoning if bacteria grow. Let me share a quick story about Farzana, 68. Farzana loved beetroot salads. She'd boil beets in bulk, slice them, and store them in the fridge for a week. But she started noticing that after reheating them for soups or mixing them into curries, she felt sluggish and bloated. Her doctor explained that the combination of sugar fermentation and nitrate breakdown was upsetting her gut. Now she switched to eating raw or freshly cooked beets, and she freezes any extra portions to avoid spoilage. Here's how you can stay safe with beets. Eat them fresh or store in the fridge for no more than 2 days. Avoid reheating beets multiple times. Freeze portions if you cook beets in advance, to lock in nutrients and prevent fermentation. So, did you find that surprising? Conclusion. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. We covered 5 common vegetables that can become toxic when reheated. 1. Spinach, because of nitrate breakdown into nitrosamines. 2. Potatoes, due to botulism risk from improper storage. 3. Mushrooms, because of protein structure changes and oxidation. 4. Celery, for the same nitrate issue as spinach. Beets, due to a mix of nitrate breakdown and sugar fermentation. All of these vegetables are healthy when eaten fresh, but reheating changes their chemistry in ways that can quietly harm your body, especially as you age. So, ask yourself, what stood out to me today? Did you recognize a habit you have? Maybe leaving potatoes out overnight, or microwaving spinach soup for lunch. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. With simple changes like storing food properly, freezing instead of refrigerating for too long, and avoiding multiple reheats, you can protect your health and still enjoy delicious meals. Before you go, tell me in the comments, what's one thing you learned today that you'll try this week? I'd love to hear from you. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who might need this advice. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. In our next video, we'll talk about the surprising link between poor sleep and memory loss in seniors, plus 3 easy ways to fix it. You won't want to miss that. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.